to my channel. I'm looking like teetotal you-know-what. I don't really care though. I'm just cooking and doing stuff around the house, and why would you get made up for that? Oh, I'm gonna make stew. This is my son's favorite meal. I cheat a little bit. All right. Yeah. I'm not afraid of knives. You're gonna hear some background noises because life happens here, and I'm not gonna make everybody stop. Woo! This is just a barbed ceramic knife. Do not think that you can't cut yourself with this. This is a cleaver knife because I like to feel like a real chef. This is an onion, and I'm going to just chop it up here. Well, actually, I'm not chopping it up. You know how I used to make stew? It was a lot more fattening. I used to take the meat and like braise it with onion in some olive oil. But I don't do that now because it's more fattening and it doesn't taste that much different. All right, so I got a whole onion there, and I'm gonna set that aside. I don't chop it up because none of us in this family like to eat onion. No, we just like the taste of it. So the next thing I'm gonna do, oh, well, first let's do this. This is a Reynolds CrockPot liner because I'm lazy and don't want to clean up that big of a mess. So I'm gonna just line my CrockPot with this, and I'm gonna take these baby carrots, and that's like half a bag, and throw them in there. Yep, that was easy. Now I'm gonna throw that whole onion in there. Why? So it gives it the flavor of onion, and right before I serve it, I will pull that onion out because I got some finicky guys in this house that if they see a piece of onion in something, go plug. All right, then I just peel these potatoes. So I am totally peeling this right onto the floor, and then I'll sweep it up later. You know I'm joking, right? Come on, there's a trash can down here. All right, I'm gonna put that in there, whole. And I'll rinse them off, and then I won't rinse them again after I cut them because I want the starch in here to thicken up my stew. And here we go. Now, my guys, most stews thick. My guys like their soup, their stew a little runny because they like for us to have French bread so they can sop up its gravy with it. So if you make my stew, then you're going to end up with it not thick, okay? It will have a little bit of a runny gravy, and so you should get you some French bread so that you can sop up its yummy goodness. And I'm using 7 potatoes. Just your medium size Idahos. All right, now I just go down, and that's how big my potato pieces are. A lot of times I like to get a chuck roast and cut it up myself because I hate the way they rip you off with tons of fat on the meat. In they go. All right. So, but I did not do that this time because the meat looked okay. What you're looking for is a specific kind of meat. You want a chuck roast cut up, okay? And it should be marbled. Just a little bit of fat. That gives it flavor. But it should not have fat all over it. So I like go through the meat and make sure I don't end up with like that. I don't want that chunk of fat right there on here. I'm looking for some marbling. I'm not looking for fat. on the meat. Yuck, who wants to eat a mouthful of fat? This one here, this is why I trim my own roasts. So yeah, I'm probably not going to put that one in there. Okay, so this is what I do. I hand examine every piece of meat that goes into my roast so that I got marble, but not hunks of fat on there, and in it goes. I use 2 packages. I don't know how much meat this is, to tell you the truth. But you know, the butcher at like you go to the supermarket, they like to hide the fatty pieces under there. So I either like to, if I'm making stew, go to the butcher and have them cut it, because I know they're not going to do that to me. Or I will get a chuck roast and I'll cut it myself. So I use 2 packages because I'm very selective. I'm very picky about the freaking meat. Alright, so the rest of that looked fine. I'm just going to plop that in there too. Alright then. Hang on, let me wash my hands. I'll be right back. Okay, back in the day when I was braising this stuff, I didn't need to do this because I had the flavor from the braising of the meat and stuff to help me out. But since I don't do that anymore, or not very often, because, you know, it's leaner for you to do it this way, I use the McCormick's low hearty beef stew slow cooker in high MSG. Yes, folks, what makes this stuff taste so good is the MSG. And this, a little tiny bit of this roasted beef concentrate beef stock. I'll use that too. I may get to the point where I use only that, but I've only used the chicken, so I'm not real familiar with this, and if I mess up the beef stew, I'm gonna make some people mad. So in goes that, and I use the Swanson's 100% beef broth, no MSG, and here's your keyword, guys, added. There's other ingredients in here that I'm sure are MSG. It's all a marketing ploy. And I'm gonna use this entire thing right in here. Now normally, see, I'm making this movie so I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Normally I do this in the CrockPot first, so I'm not dirtying a bowl. And I didn't have to dirty anything extra. I'm just gonna whisk it together. And this time I'm just gonna try this. I just wanna see how much yummier it would taste if I added some of that. You saw me, I just put a tiny bit in. Woohoo! All right, and whisk it all together with a bowl full of brown liquid and pour it on top of the beef stew. Yeah, that's the end. You take the lid for the crock pot, you slap it on here, you get your sides going so it's trapped, plug it in, set it on, if you're gonna leave it all day, set it on low, you can go by 8 hours. And if you're gonna want it in a hurry, then set it on high, it'll be done about 4 or 5 hours. And I'm just gonna take it over here and plug her in. Set it on high, and that's all she wrote. 5 minutes before I serve, I will open up this can of peas, stir it in, pull out the onion, and call my men to the table with some French bread. So that's it.